I'm actually standing in front of a real brick wall, by the way. What's going on? Okay, we got the sound's good. The sound is good. The camera's good. All right, I think we're in business. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. And we do these live streams Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been super consistent. We've been on a 80-week streak of doing live streams every single day. And in some cases, we do 2 live streams in a day. And we've been just grinding it out, guys. And we're really excited to be in cryptocurrency. We think it is the place to be right now. And it is where I think a lot of people need to put their focus on. And this is why I even made a channel to begin with, because I thought to myself, this is where I feel like instinctually I need to be in terms of career, making money. It all makes sense. It just, something clicked whenever I started to really get into crypto and started to pay attention to it. Something was leading me to be like, I need to be here. I need to stay here. I need to learn, because this is where the attention of the government and the politicians and the banks and all the people that want to make money off of you, guess what? They're going to be in crypto, because everything is fusioning. Everything is starting to not even a fusion, but because we're in the fusion phase right now, where we're linking things together. Old traditional financial systems are meeting blockchain. Eventually, blockchain is going to go like this. And everything is going to pivot into crypto. Stablecoin legislation, stablecoin minting, and blockchains that are going to be able to take the actual millions and millions of transactions that will eventually start happening with POS systems across the United States, across the entire world, where everything is being on-chain. So it's going to get pretty wild, guys, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Make sure you stick with the live stream the entire time. If you stick with the live stream the entire time, you're going to get the alpha. You're going to get just all of the juicy nuggets of whenever we start to, at the same time together, analyze these charts, analyze the markets, and we just learn together. That's what we're here. That's why we're here. That's why you're here. And we're going to give you the juicy news as well. We're going to give you the thesis. We're going to help you to zoom out, to get macro in this environment right now. But our focus recently has been on ETH. And it's for weeks now, months, even when ETH was really in the tubes, when ETH was just like at its lowest point, I became more bullish. I don't know if I have a problem. I don't know if maybe there's something wrong with me, but I got mega bullish on ETH at 1400 and around these areas because something happened. Something happened. The ETH BTC chart bottomed out and it bottomed out at the spot where before it broke out and we had the craziest alt season and biggest run up on ETH and alts that we've ever seen. The same level. And if you look here, we bounced. We bounced off of it. We actually recovered. Benjamin Cohen made the joke, ETH finally went home. And now we can continue to maybe possibly meet that total market cap of every crypto trend line, which is at like $25 trillion. So this is where I think we are headed. And now that the institutions are starting to pony up and they're buying ETH, they're minting stable coins. We got legislation coming down the pipe that is going to make it a framework for how states are going to be able to operate with stable coins, how the government will operate with stable coins, businesses, banks, all that stuff. And then once that's actually passed through, because it's going through multiple steps now, I think it's at like one of the final steps for it to officially be like a thing. So once that passes, then the next thing is Bitcoin Treasury, where all the states then agree to set up a Bitcoin Treasury. The House will then vote for that. Then there'll be state legislation for it that's already been passed in multiple states like Florida, Wyoming. There's a few Texas. And so it's pretty crazy. So all this stuff is super bullish, and it's just where the money's flowing. So we're really trying to pay attention to where the money's flowing, and it's AI Griff made a good point. He said ETH will be cheap till it's not. I think it will catch people off guard. Yeah, no, I think it's going to catch people off guard really, really bad. It's going to be the most hated rally in crypto history. We've been saying this because I think if you do the opposite of what the noise, the megaphone is on crypto Twitter or YouTube, if you just like inverse that's like the best way that you can outperform everyone. Because if you've been in crypto long enough, a lot of the times when the timeline gets real loud and they think they're right, you got big accounts saying blah, blah, blah. this is for sure going to happen. ETH is dead. You need to pivot, whatever. And then you have like people that don't make a lot of content very much. All of a sudden they have a video of them saying, blah, blah, just complaining and crying on the timeline. That's almost the time, especially if it's about Ethereum. That's the time when you double down and you get more bullish. And it's hard to do because it's kind of like a trick. It's like you have to reverse psychology this market sometimes because these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. And you can't just follow the timeline. Don't listen to me. I'm just on here just speaking my opinions for entertainment purposes. And then you can, then gather your own info from other sources and then make your own decision. Don't base it off of just like what the noise is, because you'll get wrecked that way. Pepe is a perfect example of how if you would have inversed everyone on Pepe for that whole year of consolidation, where people were like trying to get you to buy some other token or a Pepe derivative or pork or whatever the heck, like whatever the hell, you missed out on such a good opportunity because you would have been following the noise on the timeline. So you have to make your own decisions. You have to come to your own conclusions, which is what I have done, and it's led me to Pepe and ticker Bitcoin. And this is specifically just with the memes. We've broken down what we like in the layer 2s and kind of the the tech tokens, a little bit of AI. We have our list. It's pretty short. We're like bullish Polygon. We like Near Protocol and Sonic or Phantom, any of those ecosystems. We love that stuff. Chainlink. Any of the layer 2s that Ethereum is based off with that actually have pretty decent transactions and liquidity and stablecoin like Arbitrum and Optimism, all great stuff. But I still think that ticker Bitcoin and Pepe are going to outperform everything because that's what happens. The memes always take over, and you just need to be in the right ones early enough to where you can really capitalize on it, where you don't even have to sell your whole bag. I mean, you're just selling 25% clips and you're taking 20K off. That is what the meme is for. That's what it's for. It's for that. Like ticker Bitcoin is a perfect example of a chart where you've had multiple opportunities to buy the bottom and sell the top. And I came to the conclusion from my own mistakes that if it's done this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times where it's been to the bottom and gone up to these levels and broken all-time highs, and we're at the bottom, I got another chance to believe in something. This can be, if you have a chart, it doesn't even have to be ticker Bitcoin. It can be any coin. If it has this chart, whatever the name is, then it's a bullish chart because it's just multiple opportunities for a chance. It's not one giant candle to the upside and then a massive crash to the downside and then just nothing and then some. That gives you, this is just, look, every freaking point of the cycle where we've had excitement, this is where the excitement is, and it's represented in the chart. Look, we're coming into true meme season. That's what that's what retail is going to buy, and subsequently retail coming in to buy ETH and buying our bags. Basically, the institutions buying our bags is they're buying the coins that our memes are on. They're buying the chains that our memes are on. So buy the chain, please pump our bags. So that's what's going to happen. And that's how we get here. And this is bearish. This is bearish case scenario that we just go back to the all-time high. Bearish case scenario. We're not ready. AI Griff said he's bullish on Polygon and RWA stuff. Nice. Yep, chains that are heavily involved in real world assets. So that would be a big basket of things. That's like Chainlink and XYO. There's Ondo and Mantle and gosh, what else? Tons of stuff. All right, let's check on these trades. Did we hit a take? Oh, we did hit a take profit. Did we hit the take profit? Let's go. Yes. Yes, right at the top, baby. Boom. All right, we got it. We just, that was a great trade. Nice. All right, so where is it? Nice. Look at that. All right, there we go. Got a $109 trade for the day using Apex, Omni. Link is in the description, guys. This I'm really liking. It's a decentralized exchange. You don't have to sign up with a bunch of information. You're just using your wallet. You're using your wallet, and you can use the base chain. You can use Arbitrum, BNB, Ethereum, Mantle network, like we were just talking about. And son, are you winning? Yes, I am winning. Yes, we are winning. We're taking profits. We're being aggressive, but this platform is great. Like I've known about Apex for years now. I've tested it out a few times, and it's funny that I ended up getting contacted by them, and they were like, "Hey, we would love for you to be an affiliate." And I was like, "Well, that's very interesting because I was going to contact you guys." So, it's cool that it ended up working out. They were in, they got in my chat first, so that they slid in my DMs first. So shout out to Apex. So what's really cool is you can just get liquidity onto the exchange. The volume here and the liquidity is pretty good. We compared it to PHEMEX, and Bitcoin has nice volume. All the top traded coins have pretty decent volume in the millions. You want it to be in the millions, at least over 5 million. If it's like a top token. So I think that's pretty decent. That's pretty decent for a decentralized exchange. But you get a sign up bonus if you use my link in the offer code. I think it's just straight up just Dano, but the link is in the description. Check it out and test it out. Just test out the platform if you're not using a decentralized exchange. I know there's a few to choose from right now, but this one's been around for a lot longer than the newer ones that have come out recently. So this one has had time to develop. It has pretty cool features. You can gain experience points. There's spot buying. There's the perpetuals. And I like how it gives you the spread here. You can see your portfolio. You can see the kind of see what your margin is, what your available balance. And yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's get into the charts here. Let's get into ETH. We're going to show you ETH. ETH did something really interesting, and I want to point out a couple things because then we can analyze it and use it to our advantage for future price movements. We basically had wrong chart. This chart here. So we're going to show you a couple different things and certain patterns that can signal a breakout. So we had a bull flag here. Broke out and actually did the full length of the pole, because you usually want to do the measured length of the pole, like from the bottom here to the top, and it actually did exactly the exact move. Exactly. I mean to the money of the length of the pole. And what gives that confirmation is that it breaks on the bottom here in support from a previous candle that you can see that's in the pole. So if it can do that, you could trade off of that. Then you have the same thing happening where you have a pretty similar breakup to price structure on the top here, does the same thing. It consolidates and goes right kind of near almost to the about to the second candle. Yeah, so second candle did the same thing over here, went to the second candle consolidation. From here, like one candle, two candles, one candle, two, and it did the same thing. And it went to the length of the pole. I know, and why people say, "Oh, patterns don't work, TA doesn't work." If it's showing you in the chart, then that pattern is validated as a bullish pattern. So it does work. You just got to give it some time. Give it a little bit of time. It can be invalidated 100%. 100%. I've seen a bull flag forming, and I'm like, there's no way that this isn't gonna just go and rocket to the moon. And it went the complete opposite direction because something else was a catalyst that made that happen. If everything was 2 or 3 different parameters, that you need 2 or 3 different parameters of a bullish pattern to give you confirmation that's actually going to have a higher probability of breaking and breaking to the upside. Volume, good news. Nothing crazy happening, but you got some bullish catalyst news. Previous support. And all of those things lining up, and those are just a few. That's just like 2 or 3. I'm sure there's a few more that you could also use to help your bias, confirmation bias. And if you're thinking like, man, like only one of those is happening right now, and the price is kind of stalled and it's at a standstill, then that's how you can say, okay, well, maybe this pattern is not going to break out. Maybe this pattern is invalidated now. It could be a cup and handle. It could be a descending wedge. It could be a rising wedge. Rising wedge, you think, oh, it's going to break down, and then you got to be like, okay, well, what if there's still bullish momentum and we're going to continue to be overbought? You can be overbought for longer if we're really pushing some heat here, and then all of a sudden the ascending wedge, it breaks out, and you're like, it's supposed to break down. So you have to watch out. So I think why that statement is made, patterns don't work, is because you're just going off of when it just the percentage chances of when it doesn't work, which is less than when it does work. Do you get it? The percentage of it not working is less than the percentage of when it does. So which makes it a higher probability that most patterns actually will play out. What did I just say? What did I just say? What the heck did I just say? Oh, well, we should have taken profits. Dang it. We should have taken profits on this Pepe trade right up at the top here. Oh no, we've gotten a little chopped on the Pepe trades recently because Pepe has been really following ETH and Bitcoin, and every time ETH starts to do something like this, like it feels like it's going to break, and then it has a mega candle like this, it makes the coins react very, very much in tune with the coin that it's on. So that's what's really important. If you are trading, if you're trading these memes, you have to watch the coin and the chain that it's on. Because if you don't, then you have a blind spot. But I'm just gonna put a stop loss. I'm putting a stop loss in because look at this candle. Just straight down. So I mean, I don't want to get liquidated. So I'm putting my stop loss right here above, just above intake profit. So then I don't get surprised. But loved how this trade played out because that was we literally caught it at the exact bottom like at the exact bottom and took profit right at the top. I mean, that was like a perfect setup. We snagged it right there, right when we saw the bullish confirmation. And I think, where was it? Yes, that was where I was looking at the chart and I was like, it's either there or here, somewhere around there. We got to get an entry because we had some decent support here. And that's what happened. So we got in, took the profit there. Oh, I just heard my stop loss. Yeah, this thing was breaking. It was going down. So that was a good move. Oh, the moon phase. Yeah. I've used the moon phases. I haven't used it in a long time, but apparently there is a full moon this week in the weekend. Someone was saying that. Who was saying that? Someone that watches that's here on a daily basis. They were saying that. And shout out to you guys who watched this stream through the week. You guys are the faithful remnant. All right. Let's pull up the moon phases then. Let's see. Did we save the moon phases? What? I have too many indicators. They're like, you don't pay us enough to get 1,000 indicators. Yeah, let's look at the daily. And yep, we got a full moon. Uh-oh. But what's cool, this is why I'm still like I'm super bullish right now, ETH, because look at this pattern. Look at these patterns that are forming. We got on the daily a bullish MACD cross. I think we're going to trade up to the 786, which is $3,500 ETH. Alex Becker is launching his meme coin when ETH hits $3,500, which is exactly at the 786 Fibonacci. It's possible that we this week could trade up to $3,500. I mean, the chart looks really good. And I think that's why institutions were just scooping that sweet ETH up right here. And this was the fake out, I think. That's what institutions do. They're like, they got to run it down. And the exchanges help them do this because the exchanges have the biggest balances of the ETH. And then what do? They just dump it. They'll dump a crap ton of ETH, and then you got the foundation dumping at the same time, and then you have the timeline being bear. So then there's a little bit of sell pressure from us in Twitter or in crypto, but we're not enough to push the price down. So what do you think's pushing the price down? Exchanges playing the game. You don't think they have insider information? You don't think they're playing? You don't think they're all like in cahoots with each other? Think again. So why do you think it goes down that low? It's not because we're selling it. We don't have enough ETH. We don't have that much ETH to sell. What are you talking about? So that's what happened. And then the buddies like BlackRock that have all the people that have the ETFs, they need all that ETH because eventually they're going to be they're like, we're offering ETFs. We have staking coming up. These guys are going to want to earn dividend, yield. And that's why the price consolidated. It wasn't because ETH is trash. It's because exchanges are trash. Just, that's what I think. Because if it wasn't for that, and they just actually held it and didn't keep selling it, we would have already been at a 5K ETH. We would have already been at like a 6K ETH. But exchanges are nasty and dirty, especially the big ones. Emmanuel said, I'm afraid the ETH Foundation will do a big donation once we reach all-time highs. Yeah, that's always the question. Like, it's like, what's the point of the foundation if they're like gonna sell? Like, what the heck? Like, I think a point of the foundation would be like, hey, we're not allowed to. You're not allowed to sell. You have to hold. You have to hold like the rest of us. But yeah, man, we're stoked on that trade. That was a sick trade. I saw it. I was like, hype is like really hyping. It's hyping. And we did really nice on that one. So now we got a nice account value, 162 to start off. And pretty soon, I think starting with this, just with this account alone, we keep the momentum going. And just continue to be in profit, set the stop losses aggressively, wait for support, because we don't want to short. I don't want to short right now. I don't like shorting. I don't like shorting in a bull market. That doesn't make any sense. Like, maybe if you're trying to day trade and you see a little short opportunity scalp, cool. Maybe when Bitcoin hit the 110 at the first time at the very tippy top, you shorted there. Cool. That's great. You can do that. I don't want to do it. I'm just going to continue to long. Crypto is the same way. He's like, I don't like shorting. He's like, I've perpetually longed. He's like, since I've been in crypto, Crypto Chris has just longed. And it's done pretty well for him. And he bought Bitcoin, really early, but I think it did pretty well. Same with Carl. Carl just like perpetually longed. Shout out to Carl Runefelt. Just longed. All right, did we get a bottom in here, or is ETH still? Let's see what ETH is doing. Let's see. So here's some patterns. Oh, we didn't finish explaining the patterns. Gosh, we have, man, our brain. All right, so check it out. We were talking about the bull flags, but we didn't show you the descending wedge breakout. So there in the 3 minute, you could see it. It's in the shorter time frame too. It's crazy. Like, you could get the patterns. You can start seeing them in actually shorter time frame. This is the 3 minute chart. Yep, I know. As long as we just buy low and sell high, we'll be good to go. So you see here, we formed a descending wedge, and then I have a line marked here. You can do a price line real quick by doing Alt H. So on your chart, any chart, as long as you have the chart selected and you do Alt H, it'll do a quick horizontal price line. I like to use that a lot. I use that a lot to where I can just go, okay, let me mark the resistance and boom, and just put a line there, and then you can go in and edit it, do whatever you'd like. But that's a good way to just... Yeah, we got to get Carl on the channel. We got to do some videos. So Carl, if you're watching the live stream, hit me up, dude. And I need Carl on here getting people bullish, telling them to buy Bitcoin. We got to do it. All right, so descending wedge breakout, you can see it here. Hit that line of support, boom, and then it was off to the races. Then here's another pattern. Bullet or a bearish divergence. The bearish divergence, if you're looking on the 45 minute, whoa. Actually need to go to is it the 10 minute where I had it a little bit? Yeah, because then you can see how this bearish divergence here brought price right back down into this price line, eventually going past the 200 EMA close. Then we started to do a regression channel. Eventually hitting a line of support that was from the bull flag from where it broke out here. So if you watch price, structure, and support and resistance, that might be all you need to kind of figure out where price might end up stopping and where liquidity was last time. So this is all valuable information. This is where you can really analyze this. So bullish patterns. Here you have a bearish pattern, and this was my mistake this morning, was not recognizing that this was a bearish pattern, because as you can see, we have a descending wedge, downward descending wedge, as you can see right there from the top, going down. It broke the structure, and then once it hit that resistance, there was a resistance line, and you can see it, and the resistance line was exactly where I went long into a falling wedge. So I printed this out to remind myself that if you ever see this, and that's my handwriting, by the way. I know it's really, really bad, but I don't care. You can judge me. Break of structure, resistance respected, falling wedge. That means wait. Be patient. What are you doing? So this is what we need to be doing. If we want to get better, if you want to get better at trading, you want to get better at crypto, you want to get better at this, take notes and start to print things out. Start to go, damn, okay. Might have been better to where I was thinking to go long, and then see where, if I were to put that long in, and what my liquidation price would be, and then just put a limit order in instead on right above or where the liquidation point would be, because guess what? The market loves liquidating people. So if we're in a certain pattern like that, maybe just, I could just put my entry right there. Because that's where they're going to, because other traders that were doing the same thing I was doing, they're going to liquidate their ass. So look, boom, you just put your entry right there. Hey, AR Griff, thank you for coming in. It's been like a hot minute, so thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Always good. Always good to have you in the live stream and in the chat. All right, let's see. So now, how could we use some of those, some of the previous price structure here to see if we can continue to the upside? Because we did break out of the regression trend here, because we were going down, and then we hit that line. Now we're testing up. Maybe we can pull a fib. Okay, so perfect. So resistance at the 382. We kind of bounced around the 236. So the next area that we're going to test would be that 27.9 at the 0.5. If we break through, so think something like this. Go up, test that, go back down, and then test the 618. And then that's where we also have some resistance. This is, I'm looking at this as a potential long setup at a take profit right here. Take profit right here, set your stop loss. Set your stop loss under here. Long setup. I mean, right here, you're at a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If you're trying to hit it right there, 2 to 3 risk to reward ratio. Going down, you can, you're risking 1%, risking about 1% to gain a 2% move from this particular setup. One of the take profits being at the 0.5 and then above at the 618. Ooh, that's a good triple, little boom, 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 little triple bottom or something like that. But also, we've got to watch this because it could be a bear. It could be a bear flag as well. Like we have some kind of bear flag. And then we can go down even more, like here to this support. That's also bear. So bearish case scenario, bounce from that. That would be a potential setup. The pattern that we were seeing on here was that asymmetrical triangle. These have been tending to break to the downside. When you get price that's doing this and then it starts to kind of create that type of trend line from the bottom to the top. I've seen this recently where it gets pinched in and then it just goes back down to support here and then breaks out. So we've actually had our eye on this particular area for Pepe to long. Because then at that point, we could hit that again, and then that's where we could break. So if you're curious on Pepe, that's where I'm at with Pepe. But that would happen if ETH doesn't break up to this fib extension. If we end up going back down and testing 2,700, because we could do this and then test down, then go, then that pattern that we just looked at on Pepe would have potential chance. Whoa. So we will just have to see. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Let me see how many votes we got. Who's coming out on top? Dogecoin, 44%. Nice. This is funny. I asked More Light to make a meme for me. I think he did a pretty good job. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and end the live stream. It's a bit quiet today. We're going to go through a couple of our posts that we wanted to. Oh yeah, we needed to pull up this chart of the dollar. We got so distracted on ETH and getting into trading concepts that we didn't show you this chart. So this chart is the dollar strength index. And the last time we were in this area, Bitcoin was breaking all-time highs, and then when we had a 60%, downturn was when the dollar was up here. And so now that we're having all of this pivoting into blockchain and Bitcoin and all this stuff, and then we have the Fed going to cut rates. Remember when the Fed cut rates like really hard? This is where the dollar was. So if they're going to cut rates a full point, and they're suspected to cut the rates at the next meeting, then we could be down here pretty soon. And then this could really ignite a run into our bags, because then that's signaling the cycle of money printing really starting. Like everything that the TA people, the macro people have been saying, look, just wait for the liquidity. The liquidity's coming in. You just have to be patient. This is this time. So I think this is where we're at. All right, so Emmanuel is asking, please, in the scenario of a super cycle, what happens to the alts? Will they still experience a bear market? I think some of them will. I think the ones that experience a bear market are going to be the ones that aren't used as de facto chains for stablecoin minting and being real world assets. If they're just not being used, if it's just chains that aren't being used and it's just speculative stuff, I think those are not going to perform very well. Those will be in a bear market, and you'll just notice like, wow, like these aren't doing anything. And then you might see chains like Polygon, and you might see things like Solana and just whatever, AVAX. AVAX might start flying because it just gets a lot of institutional adoption, gaming, multiple narrative, multiple ecosystems that it's in. So that's kind of how I think about where it could, would be smart to be positioned, is like, what's actually going to be a multi-cycle coins, and think about that in terms of the memes, which we explained in the beginning of the stream. So, and that's how you have to build up your portfolio. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming into today's live stream. Just remember, you have to believe in something, and why not have that be yourself? You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that the dreams and the things that you have been thinking about and conjuring up in your brain can be reality, and you have to work on it. There's 3 keys. You have to believe. You have to feel it. You have to feel the feeling of being rich or prosperous or whatever it may be. Then the third is that you have to act. You have to act on it. And so once we do this, I think everything that we are wanting in our lives will magically appear. All right. Love you guys. See you on the next live stream. Thanks for coming in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And Make sure you check out all the links in the descriptions. The best way that you can directly support the channel. We don't have any private groups or anything like that. We just we have our stuff that we like to use. Like, we're promoting stuff that we just use personally. So we've been really liking Apex. This is our new partner, Apex Dex. No KYC exchange. You use your wallet. It's just so easy to start trading. You could literally do it from your phone, from any wallet extension, and also in your browser. And I'm liking it. And then PHEMEX, inverse perpetuals that you can do, exclusive sign up bonus too. Whitelist, no KYC. Same with OURBIT. Best exchange for memes and just trading in general. Super shout out to those three. And if you want to get debit cards and you live in the United States, I have links for crypto.com and Coinbase, and you will get this is like $100 in Bitcoin. If you trade and make a deposit and trade, I think $100 or more, you get like $50 in Bitcoin on crypto.com. And I think the same with Coinbase, but Coinbase is a little less. That's $10. So either one of those, if you haven't signed up on any of those accounts and you want to get some extra crypto, just won't you use my link? All right. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you on the next one.
This token is the end game. It's the